Come and learn Excel with me. Hey everyone, it's your girl the Queen here, back with another video, and this is video 3 in the series using Microsoft Excel with NVDA. And as you can guess by the title of this video, in this video I'll be teaching you how to insert functions using the insert dialog box. I'll be teaching you different keystrokes to do with the different sheets in the workbook, and I'll also be teaching you how to use formulas and functions using a range of cells or different cell references from another sheet. But right before we get into it, I want to remind you guys to like and share the video so that other persons can see it and benefit from it. And be sure to subscribe as well if you're new, and remember there's a new link below to donate to the channel if you feel so inclined. But let's get right into the video. Firstly, before I get into the main objective in the video, there's something that I want to mention to you first. I was advised that I should explain something that most of you guys out there probably wouldn't know. Like how you're not seeing the screen, I wanted to note to you that once you navigate, so once you use your navigation keys, so your tab and your enter or your arrow keys to navigate to any cell, that cell is automatically selected, which means that it's highlighted. So that is why I told you that once you navigate to a cell which already has information in it, once you just start typing in that cell, it will automatically replace what you have in that cell. That is why you have to press your F2 key to actually edit text or anything at all that you already have in a cell. That is also why once you're in a cell and you use your highlighting key, say for instance your shift plus right arrow, it selects that cell and the other cell because the cell that you are in was already automatically selected, and any selection in Microsoft Excel is highlighted. There's also another useful keystroke I want to bring to your attention. Control plus G, or you can just use your F5 key. Both of them do the same thing. What this keystroke does is open the go-to dialog box. So say for instance, you're working for a company and they tell you that you need to look for the record in cell, let's say B6, because they think there's an error there. And you don't want to have to be down arrowing until you get all the way to cell B6. You want a quick way to get to there. You can use your Control plus G or your F5 keystroke. So any of them will work. So say for instance, let me use the F5 right here.
Go to dialog, go to colon, reference colon, edit alt plus R blank.
Then you will just type in B5.
Caps lock on, cap B5.
Then press enter.
Final Excel exercise dash Excel. Sheet 1 table. 53 B5 Emily Armstrong semester 1.
And you realize it jumps you right into cell B5. But this keystroke is also useful if you want to select the cells and you know the range of the cells. Say for instance, remember when we were doing the auto-filling with the final average, and say I know that the cell with the formula that I already did is in cell D3, but the last record would be in cell D12, and I wanted to select that so that I can use my Control plus D keystroke to autofill. I can use the same Control plus G or F5 keystroke, so let me do that.
Go to dialog, go to colon, reference colon, edit alt plus R blank.
Then I will put D3 colon D12.
Cap D3 colon, cap D1 2.
Then press enter.
Final Excel exercise dash Excel. Sheet 1 table. D3 through D12, selected row 3 through 12 column 4.
And there you go, it's selected. Okay, so remember I told you that in the last video, there's another way in which we can insert functions. This is especially for you guys out there that don't actually know how the whole function or formula is supposed to be set up, and you need a little help. There is a way that you can open a list to go through the different functions and choose one that you want. So this is a little sample workbook that I have. It's not the one from last time, but it's one similar to it. Let me go to the first cell, so Control Home.
End of year results A1 through E1.
Now let me find the final average column.
Name of student A2. Semester. Final average D2.
Then down arrow.
D3 Mark James.
So say for instance, I wanted to find the sum of these numbers, just for an example, and I don't really know how the sum formula goes. So instead of going to the internet and having to look it up, there's an easier way to do it. What you would use is your insert function dialog box or window. To open that, you would use your keystroke Shift plus F3. So let's do that.
Insert function dialog if left paren, logical line test value line if line true value line if line false right paren, checks whether a condition is met, and returns one value if true, and another value if false. Help on this function. Search for a function : edit Alt plus S blank.
Okay, so once you use the keystroke Shift plus F3, no matter what you hear, because trust me, it's not going to say the same if whatever every time. No matter what you hear, once you open your insert function dialog box, just press your tab key until you get to go.
Go button Alt plus G.
Then I want you to press enter.
Select a function : list. Type.
Now, this is the list in which you will select your function. Now, you can simply down arrow through this list and see the different names of the functions, and then you tab away. But in my case, I know that I'm looking for the sum function and it starts with an S. So I can use my first letter navigation and find it. So let me press S.
Cap S. Sumifs.
Until I hear sum.
Cap S. Sum.
There we go. Now, once you find the function that you want, you'll tab away.
Help on this function link.
Alright, now this link is very important. If you don't know how the whole sum function works, once you press on this link, it will bring you over directly to a web page which tells you exactly how the sum function works. And you can read the simple article, and then you'll use your Alt tab to navigate back to Excel. And then you would press your tab
OK button.
until you hear OK. Then you would press enter.
Function arguments dialog. Help on this function adds all the numbers in a range of cells. Number 1 : formula result equals number 1 number 2 are 1 to 255 numbers to sum. Logical values and text are ignored in cells, included if typed as arguments. 111 left brace 35, 76 right brace number equals number 1 edit blank.
And that's self-explanatory. What it does is automatically puts in the range of numbers, so it's like similar to the auto sum. But if you want to change the range of your numbers, what you would do is to press your up arrow
B3 : C3.
and once you use your navigation key, so your home to go to the first part of the line and your end to go to the last part of the line, and do your little editing, you can edit this range. So say for instance, if I press my home,
Cap B.
I can delete the B
3.
and then I can put it in back.
Cap B.
Alright, now with the sum function, once you're finished editing your range, what I want you to do is to shift tab until you get to OK.
Cancel button. OK button.
Then you would press enter.
Final Excel exercise Excel. Sheet 1 table. 111 has formula D3.
And there you go. It adds them up. And if I should go over,
76 C3 semester 2. 35 B3 semester 1.
and there you go. You see that it's actually correct. Now let me go back over to the cell with that formula.
76 C. 111.
Let me delete it. Now let's try the actual average formula. So I would use my Shift plus F3 again.
Insert function dialog sum left paren, number 1 number 2, right paren.
So you realize once I open the function dialog, now it's saying sum whatever. Now once again, I'll tell you, whenever you open the function dialog box, you just press tab.
Go button Alt plus G.
Then you enter on your go.
Select a function : list. Type.
Now I know that the function that I'm looking for is average, so let me press A.
Cap A. And.
Press it again till I hear average.
Cap A. Address. Cap A. Average. Cap A. Average.
There we go. Then I would press my tab.
Help on this function link.
Then if I want help, I would have clicked on that link, but I know what I'm doing. So press tab again.
OK button.
Then press enter on OK.
Function arguments dialog. Help on this function returns the average left paren, arithmetic mean right paren, of its arguments, which can be numbers or names, arrays, or references that contain numbers. Number 1 : formula result equals number 1 number 2 are 1 to 255 numeric arguments for which you want the average. 55.5 left brace 35, 76 right brace number equals number 1 edit blank.
Then Once again, once you want to change the range, you'll press your up arrow.
B3:C3.
And I know that range is correct, so I can just shift tab right up to my OK.
Cancel button. OK button.
Then press enter.
Final Excel exercise -Excel. Sheet 1 table. 55.5 has formula D3.
And there you go, it calculates the average. Now let me show you how you can use something like the if function with this function dialog box. So I'll go over to the status column.
E3 status.
Now shift plus F3.
Insert function dialog average left paren.
You realize every time you open up the function dialog box, it says something different, probably depending on the last function that you did. Now press tab to go.
Go button Alt plus G.
Then press enter.
Select a function : list. Type.
Now I want the if function, so I'll press I.
Cap I.
I again.
Cap I. If.
There we go. Then press tab.
Help on this function link.
Tab again.
OK button.
Then press enter.
Function arguments dialog. Help on this function checks whether a condition is met, and returns one value if true, and another value if false. Logical line test formula result == is any value or expression that can be evaluated to true or false. Logical any ===. Logical line test edit blank.
Now you realize it says logical line test edit blank. Remember I told you the last time, and if you clicked on that help link, you would find out that the if statement is equal if, then you have a logical line, and then you have the value if it's true, and then the value if it's false. So what I would have here in the logical line is if the final average is greater than or equal to 70. So the cell with the final average was D3, so I would put D3,
cap D, 3.
then I would put my greater than,
Greater.
then my equals,
Equals.
then 70.
7, 0.
Then I would tab.
Value line if line true edit blank.
Now it wants me to put in what it should put if it's true. So I would put in pass.
Cap P. Caps lock off. A, S, S.
Then tab again.
Value line if line false edit blank.
Then I'll put in fail here.
Caps lock on. Cap F. Caps lock off. A, I, L.
Then I would tab to OK.
Help on this function link Alt plus H. OK button.
Then press enter.
Final Excel exercise -Excel. Sheet 1 table. Fail has formula E3.
And she failed because her average was?
55.5 has formula D3 final average.
And there you go, and that's it for the insert function dialog box. So you can go ahead and use your different functions just like that. So now let's get into all the sheet stuff. So I'm going to close this sample Excel workbook and open the one that we have been working on since the first video. Now remember I said to you guys that Excel is like a book. You know, you have a book and it have different pages inside of it. So the Excel window is a workbook and you can have different sheets in the Excel window. And remember that a book doesn't have one page in it, you have multiple pages. It's just like how you can have multiple sheets in Excel. So if I do Control plus Home to go to my first cell.
End of year results A1 through E1.
Now remember where we had this table with the name of the students, their different grades for the semester, their final average and their status. All of this is on one sheet. So we can say that all of this would be on one page of the book. But what if I want to have another table on another page of the book, which in this case would be another sheet? There's a way to create different sheets in Microsoft Excel. Now that special keystroke is your Shift plus your F11. So if I should do that right now.
Sheet 2 table, A1.
Ah, you realize it says Sheet 2 table, A1. And if I should go through this, you'll realize that it's just blank cells.
B1, B2, B3, B4.
And let me go back to my first cell.
A1.
So you realize that all of this here is just blank cells. So it's just like a fresh page in a book. So this is a fresh sheet. And it says sheet 2, so that means there's a sheet 1, which is where we're actually coming from right now. So remember, the keystroke to create a new sheet in Microsoft Excel is Shift plus F11. But what if I never meant to create this sheet and I actually wanted to delete it? There's a quick keystroke to do so. That is Alt plus H, then D, then S. And remember I tell you that any keystroke with Alt plus H in it, you can always find that option up in the Home tab. But let me use that keystroke quickly. So Alt plus H, then D, then S.
Ribbon tab D. Sheet 1 table. End of year results A1 through E1. End of year results A1 through E1.
You realize it brings me right back into sheet 1 because sheet 2 has been deleted. Now I'm going to use my Shift 11 keystroke to create back another sheet because I still want to show you something else.
Sheet 3 table. A1.
Now you realize it says sheet 3 because I already created one called sheet 2 and then I deleted it. So on instinct it creates one called sheet 3. Now let me show you how to rename a sheet because I'm sure you don't want it to stay to be named at sheet 3. I know you might be familiar with this elements list from over in your browsers, in your Google Chrome, in which when you open it, or even when I created the video about browse and focus mode in Microsoft Word, when you open your elements list, you can be able to navigate to different things like links, headings, and so on in that document. So let me open my elements list, and if you remember correctly, to open the elements list you would use your NVDA key plus your F7. So in my case that would be my insert plus my F7.
Elements list dialog. Tree view.
Then what I want you to do is tab down to where it says type.
Filter by colon. Cancel button. Type colon. Grouping. Charts radio button checked Alt plus C.
Then down arrow until you hear sheets, or you can just use your first letter navigation.
S. Sheets radio button checked Alt plus S.
Then tap back to your tree view.
Tree view. Level 0 sheet 3 1 of 2.
And if I should down arrow?
Sheet 1 2 of 2 level 0.
There we go. So if I should up arrow back to my sheet 3, which is the one that I want to rename,
Sheet 3 1 of 2 level 0.
then I'll just press my F2.
Edit selected sheet 3.
Then I will change the name. So I want to call this one Notes. So let me type that.
Caps lock on. Cap N. Caps O. T E S.
Then you can just press your enter.
Notes 1 of 2 level 0.
So you realize it changes the name of the sheet to Notes. But there's also another way to rename your sheets. Let me go down to where it says sheet 1.
Sheet 1 2 of 2 level 0.
And like how I'm in the elements list, I want to let you know that once you get into the tree view and you down arrow to the sheet that you want to go on, once you press enter, you will be placed in that sheet.
Excel practice exercise dash Excel. Sheet 1 table. End of year results A1 through E1.
And there we go, we're back on sheet 1. Now, there's also a keystroke to be able to rename your sheet if you don't want to go up into your elements list. It's a very quick keystroke. That keystroke is Alt plus H, then O, then R. So,
Ribbon tabs tab. Unknown.
you realize it says unknown, but it's actually asking you to change the name of your sheet. So what you're going to do is to type in what you want the name to be. So I want to call it results.
Caps lock on. Cap R. Caps lock off. E S U L T S.
Then press enter.
Results table. End of year results A1 through E1.
Now you realize it is saying results. And there you go, your sheet is renamed. Also, Alt plus O, then H, then R can also be used to rename a sheet. Now, remember I already taught you to navigate to sheets using the elements list. But what if I don't want to go all the way up into the elements list? You can use the keystrokes, either Ctrl plus page up or Ctrl plus page down to navigate between your different sheets. So let me use Ctrl plus page up first, because Ctrl plus page up will move you to the next sheet and Ctrl plus page down will move you back to the previous sheet. So Ctrl plus page up.
Notes table. A1.
There we go. And if I do Ctrl plus page down.
Results table. End of year results A1 through E1.
There we go. Also, I want to point out this keystroke to you. Alt plus E, then M moves the current worksheet that you're on. So if I should do Alt plus E, then M.
Ribbon tab. Move or copy dialog. Move selected sheets. Before sheet colon. List. Notes.
So if you have multiple sheets, like say 4 sheets or so, and you wanted to move this to be in front of another sheet. Say I had a 4th sheet called cards and I wanted to be moved in front of cards. I would down arrow in this list until I hear cards, and then I would tab.
Create a copy checkbox not checked. Alt plus C.
Then tab again.
OK button.
Then press enter.
Excel practice exercise dash Excel. Results table. End of year results A1 through E1.
And like how you saw that option right there, that shows you that you can also copy sheets as well. Now let me navigate back to the notes sheet. So I'll use my Ctrl plus page down.
Notes table, a 1.
Now I want to add some notes here for my students. So I'm going to merge cell A1 and B1 to make a heading first.
A 1 through B1, selected row 1 column 1.
So remember that keystroke, Alt plus H, then M.
Ribbon tabs tab, M. Merge and center not checked, combine and center the contents of the selected cells in a new larger cell.
Then press enter.
Notes table, a 1 through B1.
Then I want to type in this cell teacher's notes.
Caps lock on. Edit E. Caps lock off E A C A E R. Tick S space caps cap N caps O T E S.
Then I'm finished, so I'll down arrow.
A 2.
Now I want to put in a couple of headings. So I'm going to put in total number of students.
Caps lock on. Edit E O T A L space caps lock on. Cap N cap U M B E R space O F space caps lock off T U T E N T S.
Then I'll down arrow.
A 3.
Then I want to put here number of students who passed.
Caps lock on. Edit N. Caps lock off U M B E R space O F space caps lock on. Cap S caps lock off T U T E N T S space W H O space caps A S S E D.
Then I'll down arrow.
A 4.
Then I want to put number of students who failed.
Caps lock on. Caps U M B E R space O F space caps lock off T U D E N T S space W H O space cap A I L E D.
Then I'll down arrow.
A 5.
Then I want to put in here average score.
Caps lock on. Edit A. Caps lock V E R A G E space caps lock off C O R E.
Now let me go back up to where I have total number of students.
Total number of students overflowing A2.
And remember that the keystroke to auto-fit the column width was Alt plus H, then O, then I, because it's saying overflowing.
Ribbon tab. Notes table. Total number of students A2. Total number of students A2.
There we go. And I also want to make these row headers. So I'll use the keystroke, insert plus shift, then R.
Set A2 as start of row headers.
There we go. Then I'm going to go over into the next column.
B2.
Now I want to insert the formula which will count the number of students that I have. So I would have to count the names of the students. And remember that I told you the formula count A is the one that you use to count alpha numerical data. So first I would have to know what is the cell range of the names on the other sheet. So let me use my Ctrl plus page up keystroke to go back to that sheet.
Results table. End of year results A1 through E1.
Now let's see the range which has in the names. So down arrow.
Name of student A2. Alicia Fraser A3.
Alright, so the first cell with the name is A3. Then let me down arrow till I hear the last name.
Bob, Brian, Emily, Eric, Javon, John, Kelsey, Mark, Rosie, a 14, a 13. Rosie Taylor A12.
Okay, so A12 is the cell with the last name in it. So therefore my range would be A3 to A12 to count. So let me press Ctrl plus down arrow to go back to that sheet.
Notes table. B2 total number of students.
Now I want to insert the formula which will count the total number of students using data from another sheet. So first I'll put equals.
Edit equals.
Then in full caps.
Caps lock on. Cap C. Cap O. Cap U. Cap N. Cap T. Cap A.
Then my left parenthesis.
Left paren.
Now here's the crucial part. Anytime you're using formulas using a cell range or cell references from another sheet, what you'd have to do is to put the name of the sheet in single quotes and then put an exclamation mark and then you'll put the cell references. So what I'm going to do is to press my first single quote, which is right in between your enter key and your semicolon.
Tick.
Then I would type in the name of the sheet where the data is coming from. So that would be results.
Cap R. Caps lock off. E. S. U. L. T. S.
Then I would put another single quote.
Tick.
Then an exclamation mark.
Bang.
Then I would type in my cell range. So that's A3 colon A12.
Caps lock on. Cap A. 3 colon. Cap A. 1. 2.
Then I'll close it using my right parenthesis.
Right paren.
Then press enter.
B3 number of students who passed.
Then let's up arrow to hear what's in there.
10 has formula B2 total number of students.
And there we go. And remember that I told you from in the first video that I have 10 students. So that is how you do formulas using cell ranges or cell references from another sheet. Remember that before the range of numbers, you would put the name of your sheet in between single quotes and then an exclamation mark. And I also want to note to you, while using the insert function dialog box, once you're using cells from a range from another sheet, where I tell you that you press your up arrow to edit the range, before that range you will put the name of the sheet in between single quotes and the exclamation mark as well, and then you tab to your OK. Now let's down arrow to the next cell.
B3 number of students who passed.
Now I want to put in a formula which will determine the number of students who passed. And if I remember correctly, the status column was column E. So Alicia Frazier's status would be in E3, and then the last student's status would be in cell E12. So therefore that would be my range. In order to determine the number of students who passed, I would have to use the count if formula. So let's show you how this formula works. First, I'll put my equals.
Edit equals.
Then
Cap C, Cap O, Cap U, Cap N, Cap T, Cap I, Cap F.
Then left parenthesis.
Left paren.
Then remember, once you're using a cell range or cell references from another sheet, you should always put the sheet name before the cells. So
Tick, Cap R, Caps Lock Off, E, S, U, L, T, S, Tick, Bang.
then the cell range.
Caps Lock On.
So that will be E3 colon E12.
Cap E, 3, colon, Cap E, 1, 2,
Then I would put a comma.
comma.
In the count if formula, how it works is to put the range of cells, then you will put in quotes what Excel should actually count. So I want Excel to count that if in these range of cells, which is E3 to E12, if it says pass. So that is how I will determine the number of students who passed. So I have my comma, then I will put quote,
Quote.
then
Cap P, Caps Lock Off, A, S, S,
then quotes again.
quote.
Then finish it off with my right parenthesis.
Right paren.
Then press enter.
B4 number of students who failed.
Then up arrow.
5 has formula B3 number of students who passed.
There we go. So now let me do it for the number of students who failed as well.
B4 number of students who failed.
So I'll put equals.
Edit equals. Caps Lock On. Cap C, Cap O, Cap U, Cap N, Cap T, Cap I, Cap F.
Left parenthesis.
Left paren. Tick. Cap R. Caps Lock E, S, U, L, T, S. Tick. Bang. Caps Lock On. Cap E, 3, colon, Cap E, 1, 2, comma.
Then instead of pass here, I will put fail. Because remember, when I did the if statement in the last time, I told it that if the grade was greater than or equal to 70, they should put pass, else they should put fail. So it all depends on what you have in your columns.
Quote. Cap F. Caps A, I, L.
Then end the quote.
Quote.
Then right parenthesis.
Right paren.
Then press enter.
B5 average score.
Then if I should up arrow,
5 has formula B4 number of students who failed.
there we go. So 5 students failed and 5 students passed. And if you should add that up, that will bring me to my total number of students, which is 10. Now, the last thing we will do is the average score.
B5 average score.
I remember that my final average was in column D. So the range would be D3 colon D12. I wanted to calculate the average of all of the students' averages. So I would type
Edit equals. Caps Lock On. Cap A, Cap V, Cap E, Cap R, Cap A, Cap G, Cap E.
then,
Left paren.
then my sheet name,
Tick. Cap R. Caps Lock Off. E, S, U, L, T, S. Tick. Bang. Cap D. 3, colon, Cap D. 1, 2. Right paren.
then press enter.
B6.
Then if I should up arrow,
72 has formula B5 average score.
there we go. And that's it for this video, guys. And one important note I want to note to you. Don't worry if later on you go on and say I changed the sheet name again from results to students results. Don't worry about your formulas. If you check the name of the sheet in your formulas will automatically change. So that's all sorted out for you. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Once again, it has been a pleasure to be able to share my knowledge with you. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I'll post the next video in this series. Well, thanks for watching once again. I love doing this video for you guys, and remember that there's a new link down below to donate if you feel so inclined. I'll see you guys in the next video where we'll be doing some formatting and who knows what else. Bye bye.